Do you discount the suicides? Do you discount all the problems, the public health problems that come with this lockdown that studies now show? I mean, do you discount the damage to children when they can't get back to school?
No, I'm with you. I'm very frustrated by there's no appreciation for nuance on any of these issues anymore. And
right.
and I think it's setting us back because, the point you're making is, this debate has become if you want to reopen, it's because you want to get people killed, as if there aren't real health consequences to keeping people home. I mean, my current weight is proof enough of the health consequences of keeping it home. Like, if I was more active on Instagram, I think everybody would be behind reopening at this point for their own good, no?
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. We call that the COVID pouch. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, most people, Congressman, are trying to flatten more than one curve at this point. It's not pretty, man.
I think so. I get it, man. I mean, at some point you can only, some cheese puffs only so long. I mean, you can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing that.
You ain't kidding. I gotta ask Fox for a new form of payment for this show. You make a good point. Let me ask you this. You were talking about reopening schools. I believe that they're currently scheduled in your state for an in-person learning to begin on August 17th. Where are we on that?
Well, the teachers' unions have said, no, we're not going back until nobody in the world can die for anything. And so they don't want to go back. The thing is, I want to thank the L.A. School district teachers union because I think they revealed something that reveals a lot about a lot of unions, a lot of teachers unions. Because this isn't about even safety there. It's not about mitigating risk there. What it is they want defunding of police before they want to go back to opening up schools in LA. And I think that kind of gets to this kind of weird social justice thing that's going on because I don't think you should ever say we're not going to open up schools until everything is safe because then you'll never open up schools. I think you have to say, what's the risk like? Can we mitigate risk more? What is the actual risk to schools? I mean, how come the U.S. is an outlier on opening up schools?
It's crazy. And the irony of all of that is the people who want to defund the police, if we are to close schools, we're going to wind up needing more police when these kids grow up because lower education trends towards higher rates of poverty and crime, And it's very frustrating. It's frustrating to watch because I don't feel like we're having an adult conversation about this. I feel like it's very much being hijacked for political gain. I mean, I think we've had this discussion in the past.
Yes.
But do you still feel like this goes away on November 4th?
Yeah, I mean, I still do, and I'll tell you why. I mean, you start looking at, just the numbers, Jimmy, and that's the point. People don't want to look at these numbers real closely, but whether it's in Arizona or elsewhere, if you start looking at the antibody tests, and you start looking at places like Arizona for the week, they're averaging 15% of all their antibody tests are coming back positive, 12%, 15%, 18%. What you're seeing is that more and more people have been exposed to this, and many don't even know they have it. And so I think what happens is the panic button has got to be unplugged. Now, if Trump wins, which I think he's going to win, I think that the panic, the Department of Panic, as Berenson would say, they're going to want to keep this thing going because it creates such division in the country, and they're capitalizing on division. They don't want, I saw on Babylon Bee, which is a satire thing. Of course, this isn't true, but in Minneapolis, the rioters had burned houses down in the shape of to spell love. That way. And that's kind of where they are. They want to burn it down with love.
It's psychotic. If you're just joining me, Congressman Andy Biggs is on the line. It's crazy, and no, I'm very much with you on this. Pelosi actually said yesterday she's calling it the Trump virus. When you're talking about selling a narrative, there it is. She said it's the Trump virus. Didn't she wait to act a month longer than he did?
Oh, yeah. No, she was out there. It was the Chinese New Year. Remember, she said, everybody go out and party hardy with because we don't want to appear racist like President Trump, because President Trump had issued a travel restriction on China. Wasn't even a travel ban, but a travel restriction. And oh, my goodness, he's a xenophobe and a racist. Let's go out, and everybody should celebrate with our Chinese friends.
It's nuts.
Yeah, just absolutely insane.
A month later, and then she's like, this guy took too long. I don't know, maybe she got a brain freeze from that fancy ice cream. She eats nice ice cream.
She seems to like ice cream.
Yeah, but does anybody in Congress have a better fridge? Because I saw her fridge on TV. Let's be honest. Politics aside, that fridge, I was on her side for a minute when I saw that fridge.
Hey, you know what? I would like that fridge. That fridge was big. It could house a lot of things. And, when you're going to buy $20 ice cream, $20 pint ice cream, you really do want to get it in a first-rate freezer.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny. But is it any surprise this country is $27 trillion in debt when we've got people eating $20 tubs of ice cream?
Oh, hey, be happy it's only $27 trillion, because if she had her way, we'd be sitting over 30 right now, and she's trying to get her way right now.
It's crazy.
That's the next bill. The next bill is Rand Paul said he thought he stepped into the Democrats' luncheon yesterday instead of the Republicans, because they all want to spend so much, and they only want to spend 2/3 of what Pelosi wants. They only want to spend $1.5 to $2 trillion. And
at what point? I recognize the debt as a monstrous liability now, but at what point are your constituents forced to acknowledge the peril they're putting us in, because this is not sustainable?
Well, that point was about 5 years ago, and they missed it. And they've, I got to tell you, Jimmy, they've just flat out missed it. The rate of the national debt has grown so precipitously in the last 60 days. The debt-o-meter that I have on my in my office and on my website, it can't keep up. It just simply can't keep up. I asked why is it behind? And one of my staff told me today, the iPad quit working. I assume it's because it was too much. Just you can't keep doing that.
This is crazy. Statue of Liberty is going to be holding a change cup in New York Harbor because people can't stop spending money. It's driving me crazy. There's a part of me that as much as I appreciate President Trump, there's a part of me that does think we deserve this for electing a guy who owns a golden toilet. I mean, we had to see the warning signs, no? Not that it's his fault, but I laugh when I think of stuff like that. Let me ask you this. There's one constant that keeps coming up as this election cycle heats up, and that's the idea that the Democrats claim they would have done something differently if they were the ones confronted with this virus at a leadership level. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's true. What they would have done differently is they would have, instead of letting the governors and the mayors be the tyrants, they would have declared emergency, and basically we'd all still be in some lockdown somewhere, and people like me and you, we'd be in some gulag. That's the way they would approach this. But if we're going to take this seriously, if you want to see how Democrats handle this, look no further than New Jersey and New York.
Yeah.
What you take a look at of what they did. They were so inobservant and so focused on preparing for a surge that they didn't even realize the surge was there. And they basically implemented a quasi-death panel by saying if you're a senior citizen and you're in a nursing home, we're not going to let you go to a hospital. We're going to send you back to the nursing home,
which is crazy.
Knowing that it would mean almost certain death. And by the way, that's what Dr. Fauci says they handled right. He says, oh, yeah, New York really handled this well. That is what you would get if the Democrats would have been in charge throughout the entire nation.
It's scary to think, because I saw Fauci compliment New York the other day, and I was like, really? I mean, I know, as you said, there's a lot of nursing home residents that wouldn't agree with that.
Right.
Which is, psychotic. That part did kind of throw me a little bit. I got to be honest with you.
Well, Fauci, here's the thing, Jimmy. Fauci he doesn't want to just throw out the first pitch at the Washington Nationals ball game. He wants the Yankees and the Mets as well.
Well, The Mets could probably use him to pitch for real, if we're being honest. Maybe not the medical advice, but they could actually use him. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, the thing is, too, as a lifelong New Yorker, they don't really care about the virus at Citi Field because most Met fans want to die at this point. I mean, it's bad. Forgive me, but they're the worst.
And the season hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Your Diamondbacks are getting underway, though. Are you fired up for that?
No, you know what? I got to say, I just don't have time anymore. I may look in now and then as just looking in on the Giants and seeing what happened. I understand that they're trying to get someone to hire on as a kneeling coach for San Francisco. I don't know.
Let me jump in on this. It's not out yet. I have a Fox News op-ed coming out about this today. I'll ship it your way after the show because you'll get a kick out of it.
I'd love it.
And it's very much rooted in what you're discussing, which is a lot of people don't care. Listen, people, you can protest, but what baseball has to understand is there's a lot of people that don't come to baseball for that. You're paying $15 for a beer. It's because you want to watch baseball. It's not because you want to watch CNN. And if you're going to watch CNN, you got to give us something stronger than beer. No?
Yeah, yes, and also you have to go to an airport because that's really the only place you can catch it anymore.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Listen, as a guy who watches the Mets, I am not an expert on catching things, so I will leave it there. There it is. Congressman Andy Biggs, I love talking to you, man. Stay safe.
Hey, Jimmy.